and anger and fear and ferociousness and blame and gossip. Guess what? Your parasympathetic nervous system is weakened. So part of your tree, right? You ever have a Christmas tree where some of the lights don't work? I don't know about today because they're all LED lights, but back in the day, we had the screw bulbs in and it was a whole thing. Sometimes it was certain lights didn't work. You know what I'm saying? It was off. Certain parts of the tree looked funky, other parts looked good, depending on who put what things on what part of the tree. But that tree represents your nervous system. And if some of the lights ain't on, because it has not been decorated evenly, then your nervous system is off. The tree of life is your nervous system. The Christmas tree is a symbol of the tree of life, and it must be balanced. That's why you pick out a tree, they shake it out, make sure that that it's got a certain shape and all that. You don't want one that's all leaning over. An interesting thing. I just want to hit this real quick. I know I'm off. This is on subject, but it's off. Do you know how many pine trees they cut down for Christmas? Do you know the number of these trees that they grow just for this holiday? Do you know what the pine tree does? How important it is for oxygen? How important it is to help ionize the air? You couldn't have a proper spring without the pine tree pollen dropping at that time of year, like right around March 21st, when the pine tree flowers pop. They're male flowers, and they put out this, what they call semen of the forest. The pine tree is the pinnacle. It's the point. It has a pine cone. The pine cone is just like the pineal. It looks like the pineal. The pineal in your head is like the top or the star that you put on the top of the tree. That's why they always put like an angel up there. Usually the angel's doesn't look like you, but that's why sometimes they just say, well, let's just take the angel off and put a star. Well, the same thing, because that angel and that star is picking up the energy from Sirius. Sirius. Are you serious? Are you focused on the star? Do you have your angle right? Do you have a telos? Do you know where you're going and where you're coming from? So this Christmas season has so many symbols in it that once you put them all together, you finally become free. You break away from the commerce. You break away from what they have told you to focus on. Because there's one specific day when you get more what they call sacred secretion, an oil that comes down the chimney. Santa comes down the chimney. He's fat. That's because oil is a fat. He comes down the chimney. And oil holds information. Oil holds information better than water, better than air. So like in electronics, we use things called capacitors. A capacitor in the past was always a piece of electronics that was filled with oil, because oil holds information. All oils hold information. It's just like a lot of the oils you buy in the store. And by the way, the number one oil, you know what the number one oil is sold for the holidays? Brother Rich, you still there? Brother Rich. He might be off out playing ball. You know what I'm saying? He left. He's out the store. He's gone. He's gone to celebrate. The number one oil for the holiday season is Crisco oil. Crisco is Christ oil. They even got an eye with a little, looks like, if you look at it, looks like oil, right? A little oil, but it also looks like a flame. So it's a representation of the pineal, Crisco oil. And when you find out what's in Crisco oil and how it's white, what kind of oil is this that's white if it's not coconut oil? Look at the colors on the Crisco can. Because this whole holiday thing has got to do with an anointing of oil, an anointing of information. This is about information coming from the cosmos. That information must join with you. You must become evenly yoked with the oil. You have to know what gifts you'd like to put under the tree. What do you select? This is not about being out shopping and buying stuff and making people happy. This is actually a ceremony. And the day is in no way December 25th. Who selected that? Why did they select that? It's a Gregorian calendar anyway, and I want to know who was Gregory, King Gregory, or Saint whoever. It's off just a bit. And there is a formula. There's a very old formula that tells you how to figure out when the real Christmas is. Now, some people say, well, I took God Power 1. I know what it is. It changes every year. It is not the same because the stars shift. The calendar shifts a little bit every year, and it doesn't shift exactly the same. So this year is not the same as last year. In fact, when you find out the day, it's going to be shocking. And when you find out what is happening celestially, I like you to use that, celestially, on that day, it's mind-blowing how this day, this year, or next year, because the date is actually in 2024. And when you realize what 2024 is about, how this is about an 8 vibration, and when you realize that this is, and it happens on the 12th day of Christmas, when you understand what the 12 days of Christmas is all about. On the 12th days of Christmas, it's about drummers drumming. Drummers drumming in the year of the 8. Have I not been talking about the 6/8 rhythm throughout this whole year? I've been talking about music and sound. There's been a reason. Why is Dr. B so deep on this music thing suddenly? Some of y'all have seen my, sonic immersion piece that I put up on YouTube. If not, go to my YouTube, Dr. B YouTube, Dr. B Sirius on YouTube. You can find me. Go check it out. When I was on with 19 Keys just the other day, I didn't know he rapped. I didn't know too much about the brother. But I played a 6/8 rhythm with my medicine drum and asked him to join in and rap. And rapping in a 6/8 vibration it's like it's confounding to your brain because we're used to doing everything in 4/4, a box that we got from the Western world. It didn't come from the Eastern world, it came from the Western world, a box people in. 4/4, a box, a loop. So I play a lot of times in these other time signatures that are a signature is the sign of your nature. These other time signatures, these other times that will help you emit, because when you take time and turn it backwards, you're emitting. So you're emitting energy in a certain signature based on how you sign your name, how you sign your life, how you move, how you act, how you talk. So I start playing a 6/8 rhythm. He starts rapping, and at first it's a challenge because it's intuitive to the way you've been trained in the Western world. But guess what? At the end, 19 Keys starts rapping in a 6/8 rhythm, and at the end I say, man, brother, I don't know if anybody's, maybe some African folks, have rapped in a 6/8 because it changes everything. This year coming up. This 2024 is about an 8 vibration. It's about being on the bridge and crossing out of the old world into the new world. It's about being in the theta state. It's about meditation. It's about being who you really are. So guess what? It starts on Christmas. The true Christmas is when you're able to set your rhythm and begin to move and dance. When you begin to flow, you got to set a rhythm. Now, if you're setting a rhythm on the 25th, you're going to be off rhythm. The songs and everything are twisted. Hey, Brother Rich, you there? Where you at, Brother Rich? Brother Rich? He's still
I'm here. No, I just had my mic on mute, but
I need to see you, brother.
Okay, coming right now. Give me 1 second. Where's the thing at? All right, Dr. B. All right.
You know the song Jingle Bells?
Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle bell rock.
No, you singing the wrong one. You trying to sing the cool one. I'm talking about the old one. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way.
I was listening to Frank Sinatra earlier, so
hey, and then dang, bing, dang, bang. Better break these frequencies down. Ding, dang, dang, ding, dang, dang, ding, ding. I was almost happy. Dang, dang, dang. Guess where it comes from?
Where?
And I just got this in the mail today. You ready?
Yeah. Minstrel songs. Wow. Old and new.
Oh my gosh.
Damn.
I got this. It had to come from somewhere. Somebody in Europe had it. You have to go to like these old bookstores where they got this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Jingle Bells has to do with a song about a sleigh ride.
Mm.
The bells are the bells they tied to slaves. Mm. And when they ran away, you could find them because you could hear their bells jingling as they ran through the snow.
Wow.
The one horse open sleigh, and the sleigh has got to do with killing. And they're having fun chasing the slaves through the snow. Ooh. Jingle, jingle, jango is an African thing. Jango, it's a rhythm. Mm-hmm. Bells. And bells, part of something. If you look at bell a couple ways, it looks like ball, which is a god. You look that up, B-A-A-L. Mm-hmm. Jingle Bells is about chasing down slaves. Get the book. This book got a lot of stuff in here that you think that you feel like, oh my God, this song was great. They got the notes, show you how to play it. You see how old this book is? Mm. This book is from the 1800s. This is the actual book. It got melodies. Man, you got to turn the pages real careful because it's like old and got that funky smell. Mm-hmm. This book is actually from that time. Mm. This ain't no, well, we're trying to be mad at folks. No, you need to know that some of the stuff that you've been singing is putting you into a ritualistic state where you don't even realize you're chasing yourself through the snow. Mm. Now, the 12 days of Christmas is a whole nother story. 12 days of Christmas has got so much science, and it comes from some old ancient, what they want to call paganism. And paganism is when they felt that nature was everything. They worshiped, they looked up to nature. What was wrong with that? It's all that's evil. It's evil? Oh, because you don't want me to just go worship what you say to worship, no, to worship what you believe, to get on your warship with and fight. You see? Everything is twisted just a little bit. Now, Donny Hathaway has a Christmas song. You know that song by Donny Hathaway?
Yeah.
Donny Hathaway was trying to hook y'all up and drop some science. It's 12. He was telling you to look at 12. Mm-hmm. Look at 12. The 12th day of Christmas is about rhythm and drums drumming a certain rhythm. Mm. This oil usually falls somewhere within the 12 days of Christmas, but you got to know when Christmas really is. You got to first look at when the solstice is. This has to do with the solstice, when it looks like the sun is stopping. It has to do when the sun begins to rise again, right? On the 5th, on the 25th, it looks like the new sun is born. But that is not the day that there's an alignment with Sirius that changes everything for you. The day when Sirius is aligned with the sun and the earth is closest to the sun, is the day when your skull begins to open up and it pulses, because your skull is held together, right? It's bones called sutures. Looks like a puzzle. When you walk, they move. That's why they say walking is one of the best exercises, because it's actually massaging your head. Right? There's a pulse. Now, a lot of people say, well, Dr. B, the sacred secretion comes every month. Yeah, it does. It's supposed to be on the day you were born in that month. They got a whole formula that you find online. The one I'm talking about, this formula is not online, because they weren't going to let you put this online without, you got to dig deep, because this formula is the formula of the year. See, those are little birthdays. And the whole thing about your birthday is you wasn't born on that day. You calling it birthday. So what do you think is really happening? That's not your birthday. You was only born on one day. This is my birthday. No, this could be the celebration of the day you were born, but it's not your birthday. See that little twist? When you change information, when you change words, and when you change angles, even 1%, if I tell you to draw a map, and I make that map 1% off, you'll never get to your destination. Just 1%. So everything has been changed 1, 2, 3% over time. I'm saying there's a map to get home. And I was told that I couldn't even talk about it until a certain time. When Dick Gregory gave it to us a long time ago, we were like, okay, we wanted to tell everybody. He was like, be quiet, because you are going to cause an issue. You got to wait till the world is going crazy. This is now. It seems like so much is going on right now to play with your attention. Mass distraction. It's supposed to happen. It's natural, because only the great ones, only the ones who are focused, only the ones who are clear, only the ones who are ready to let go. I just asked Brother Rich, I said, hey, man, your background's changed, man. He said, well, you got to change for everything for 2024. Oh, he's on it. I'm looking at the colors that he chose. He said, man, he's going to do a mural on the wall. I'm looking at the colors he's wearing. Oh, he gets it. It is happening internally in him. He is being ready to receive the oil that's coming down the chimney. Now, some people say, well, Dr. B, I got time. You know, when I know the date, Doc. That's what people don't call me. Doctor, I figured out the date. I said, well, what are you doing? Well, on that day, I'm going to be, you've missed it. If you wait until the day that the oil comes, you will not program your oil with its highest potential. Why? You know how we be waiting to do something on a certain day? Because we were told by the Western world that this is the full moon. What they didn't tell you is that the full moon actually started the day before. The full moon in most of these events are 3-day events. It just depends on your perspective and where you're standing and how you're looking at it. Most powerful situations are 3-day events. They're 3 days. Now, one day is at the very peak of it, but that doesn't mean I can't receive the energy and the flow of it, because the wave is still traveling. It doesn't just happen in one day. We are about to experience the biggest download that we've received in an extremely long time.
About how long you think, Doc?
I would say it could be, and don't quote me on this, at least 6,000 years. Because for 6,000 years, we've been on a ride. We've been far away from the sun. We've been at the furthest angle away from the sun, because there's this, when you look at the 26 or the 24,000 year calendar, the great day, the sidereal day, you see it moves, and we've been far away from the center. And when you're far away from the center, that's why we needed prophets and teachers and stuff to give us information. When you're close to the center, you don't need any teachers, because you're connected.
That's
everybody on the planet was connected at one point, and we were all in tandem, in time, in rhythm. You couldn't not be. You wouldn't exist. You couldn't make it being that close to Sirius and the sun, being that close to Vega and Lyra, and being that close and connected on a helical angle with what they call Hanab Ku, man, you wasn't gonna make it. So you didn't make it because you don't have it.
Mm-hmm.
But as we moved away, which they call the fall of man, we fell away energetically from the center. So the radio station, it became like, that's the center. We call it like the radio station, right? Mm-hmm. It was like static. You know, you'd be trying to hear your favorite song, you know what I'm saying? And all this, too far. Mm-hmm. So then people came along to tell you what is happening. So you got all these prophets came along.